Major funding for these programs is made possible by grants from Capital One Bank, New York Community Bank, Eastern Consolidated, M&T Bank, Customers Bank, Meridian Capital Group, Terra CRG, the Wickoff Group, Perfect Building Maintenance, Chase Commercial Term Lending, Chase Commercial Mortgage Lending, Genova Burns. Additional support is made possible by AKA Hotels Corman Communities, AmTrust Title, Aerial Property Advisors, AVR Realty Company, Bank of America Merrill Lynch, Bank Leumi USA, Briarwood Organization, CBRE, Citizens Bank, Connect One Bank, Colliers International NYC, Collins Building Services, CPEX Real Estate Services, Dime Savings Bank of Williamsburg, Douglaston Development, Levine Builders, Fisher Brothers, Flushing Bank, Friedman, LLP, Hendler Real Estate Organization, Hersha Hospitality, HAP, Investment Developers, Hodges Ward Elliott, Inc., Investors Bank, iFunding, James D. Kuhn Real Estate Center at Syracuse University, Kilroy Architectural Windows, Madison Realty Capital, Matone Group, Mercantile Commerce Bank, New Banks, Newmark Grubb Knight Frank, Optimum Window Manufacturing Corp., People's United Bank, Paulsonelli, Rosewood Realty Services, SJP Properties, Sterling National Bank, Stonehenge Partners, TD Bank, The Continuum Company, the Knackle Group at Cushman and Wakefield, the Meringoff Family Foundation, the Moynihan Group, and these friends.
I'm going to be a medic. I'm going to go to medical school. I really want to be a chiropractor. No, chiropractic is fine, but I got to be a marketer. I'll be an inventor. Wait a second. I'm going to develop a holistic medical center. You know, I'm going to become a comedian. I'm going to be a public speaker. I'm going to be a concert promoter. I'm going to be the managing partner of the Metropolitan Room? Who am I? I'm Bernie Furshpan. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So you have had a very interesting career. As I said to you yesterday when we got together, the key to a good life is the key to being adaptable, and you've been adaptable.
That's true. Actually, from how it sounded, the way you introduced the show, it sounded like a crazy person. I was looking at it from the outside.
Hey, we're all a little crazy. You have a very interesting story about your parents. Tell me about them, because both of them were survivors of the Holocaust. Tell me about Mom first.
Well, Mom had 5 brothers and sisters. She lived in a small town in Poland. And when the Nazis came into Poland, they attempted to escape to Russia. So they went on board a train. My parents left the train for a few minutes just
Your mother?
My mother, mostly
Right.
my mother, yes. I don't know where her father was. I never got that part straight. He may have been in a different car, but anyway, both parents were off the train. And my mother was watching the other siblings. Her mother never came back. The train took off, and it went into Russia. They got dispersed into orphanages, and it took about 3 or 4 years for her mother to find all the kids. My dad, on the other hand, lived in a small village, almost like from the movie Fiddler on the Roof. It was like a little tiny little village like that. Something like that. Yeah, it wasn't called Anatevka, but it was called Ludwipol.
And
the Nazi and the Ukrainian goons came in to kill the citizens of that particular little village. And my father's father sent him to the forest, where he survived. You know, they murdered everybody in the village. He survived for 2-3 years, and knock on wood, came out alive.
so how did your mother and your father both end up in Israel?
So my father went to an orphanage in Italy, and my mother's family went to Israel. They emigrated to Israel. And in this orphanage, a couple of Israeli guys came to recruit these Jewish kids into the army or into the kibbutz. My father was a little too young, so they changed his birth date so they can take him out. They took him out, put him in a kibbutz, and then he ended up in the military.
So they were there for the War of Independence in 1948?
Yes, they got there before the Independence Day.
Now, you said to me your parents lived in a kibbutz.
They each lived in a kibbutz. Originally, when most Jews immigrated to Israel, they ended up in a kibbutz somehow because they came with just a shirt on their back. There was, no place to go, no place to live. They had no money. And in a kibbutz, they were, incorporated into the society, and all they had to do was work. They were fed. They had a roof over their head. So that was the easy way for them to acclimate to that society.
How'd Mom and Dad meet?
So they met in a little town outside of Tel Aviv, where my dad was doing construction at that time, and he was working for this family, and this couple who knew my dad also knew my mom. And they said to my dad, "Why don't you come around? There's a nice girl here that you might like." He wasn't interested in girls at that time. But they got together, and he said, "Would you like to go out?" And she says, "I'm too busy. I have to go to Paris and learn ballet." She was only 16, but she had this air about her to kind of play a little hard to get. But somehow, some way, she convinced him to come back. They got together, and her mother said, "If you're going to date my daughter, you have to get engaged. There's no way you can date her unless..."
They got engaged.
They got engaged. My father had no idea what being engaged meant.
And then you and your brother, who are twins, were born.
We were born as a result.
When did your parents come over to America? Your father came over first,
He came over first because some of his friends moved to America to have better opportunities for their families. And they talked him into going to do a reconnaissance visit and work for a few months. And he loved it. He called my mom. He says, "We're all moving, so get the stuff ready, start packing." He comes back to Israel, grabs the family, puts us on a plane, and we head to the Bronx.
You head to the Bronx, and you're 4 years of age at this time, right?
I was about actually 6.5.
What happens next? Then you move to Brooklyn?
Yes, so about 3 months later, my father packed us up again and said, "We're going to Brooklyn. There's an Israeli community in the Flatbush area." So he brought us to that area, and he had some friends who lived there.
That was the one near Brooklyn College on 10th?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, Dad, the American dream, buys a two-family home.
Right, and his first car.
And his first car, the Impala.
The Impala.
How old are you at this time?
I was about 9, 10.
Now, you went to public school,
Yes.
and where'd you go to junior high school?
I went to Marine Park Junior High School, which was a wonderful school. They had great programs there, and they had a huge racetrack outside in Marine. It was actually built right next to a park,
Right.
like a city park.
There is a beautiful park in
Yes.
Marine. So when you, at Marine Park, okay, afterwards, you could have gone to Canarsie, but you were lucky that you went to James Madison.
Right.
And you said to me that you and your brother, perhaps it was because of your parents' influence and everything, wanted to be involved with healthcare at
Yes.
an early time. And you were in a medic program at Coney Island Hospital. Tell me about that.
Yeah, this was actually the only program of its kind in the entire United States. It was somehow associated with the Boys Club of America or the Boy Scouts of America. And it was a very special program in that they trained us to do so many different things that nurses do, and some doctors would actually apply to some patients without giving injections or performing surgery. Short of that, we actually started off by changing bedpans and feeding patients, and we ended up in the emergency room and the operating room by assisting doctors, doing CPR, handing them instruments, doing whatever we had to do to help them out as their assistants. But we had a lot of training. That was the specialty of this particular program. They had a lot of schooling, a lot of education. And for those that were interested in medicine, this was a great pre-med program.
What year did you graduate high school?
We graduated in 1975.
1975, and then you and your brother decided to go to Stony Brook, State University of New York at Stony Brook, and do pre-med. But what happens one day that you decided to become a chiropractor?
Well, it goes back to the Coney Island Hospital, where my brother and I actually took over this particular group. It was 400 students, and him and I became president and vice president. We got scholarships. And at that time, I was suffering from headaches, and I had some high blood pressure. So I was working in the hospital. The doctors were examining me. They did everything for me, and they couldn't find what the source of my high blood pressure was. They called it essential hypertension. When we ended up in Stony Brook as a great undergrad pre-med program, which was recommended by the Coney Island Hospital. It was one of the things that they did for us, is they recommended us, and they sent a letter of references and things of that nature, and it really made a difference. When we were in Stony Brook University, I visited a chiropractor. Somebody said, go see a chiropractor for your headaches, and I didn't know what a chiropractor did, but he adjusted my neck, scared the hell out of me, but my headaches disappeared, and I kept going back, and I said, this is wonderful. So while I was in Stony Brook University as a pre-med student, I was interning for a chiropractor in Brooklyn.
That was Dr.
Bass on Coney Island Avenue, and that's when I decided I'm going to change career choices, and I wanted to become a chiropractor.
So then you change. You go to New York College of
New York Chiropractic College,
Chiropractic College, part of New York Institute of Technology.
Right.
Now you said to me you had not a stutter, but you had a
stage fright.
Stage fright.
Serious.
So stage fright.
Stage fright.
When do you take the course to get out of that?
So I had stage fright from when I was in high school, maybe even junior high school, and I avoided all opportunities to speak in public. I shied from it. I avoided it. Scared the hell out of me. But when I was in chiropractic school, I said, I'm going to have to overcome this, because as a chiropractor, I'm going to have to do some public speaking. I got to do a lot of marketing. And so I joined Toastmasters International. And I believe at that time it was in Rockville Center. I got very good at it, and I brought a program back to the chiropractic school, and I started a lay lecture workshop. I had about 300 students taking the class, and I was teaching it. And somehow, when you want to become good at something, you teach it. And so it forces you to learn it, and learn it quickly, and become very good at it in order to instruct it. And that's what happened. So I overcame my fear of public speaking by teaching public speaking, and it was a very successful program, and we received a lot of accolades.
Career 2 now. We're waiting to see, we have to count how many careers.
Only up.
Chiropractor and public speaker.
Okay.
Toastmaster.
Yeah.
You graduate college what year?
1981,
So
chiropractic school.
So it's 1981, and you and your dad purchase a building in Islip, Long Island.
In Bay Shore, which is in the town of Islip,
right.
yeah.
Bay Shore, Long Island, for what, $34,000, you said?
Approximately 30,
something like that.
Yeah.
You renovate this house.
Completely gutted it, him and I.
Into a home office,
Yep.
Okay, and you start
That's
practicing.
career number 3, construction.
Correct. So what happens now? You're out there marketing.
I was ambitious, and I was marketing. I got patients before we even finished construction. I was adjusting them in...
Was this before the adjustment, the famous procedure?
Which was later on,
Okay.
yes.
So what happens? How do you build a business? 1981, you were what, 20?
It's about relationships. That's how you build a business. It's about relationships. It's about making friends, about trust. I joined every organization in town. And
you were a member of the Kiwanis?
The Lions Club and, Chamber of Commerce, and I met as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. They liked me. It was about relationships, and they said, okay, so how do we get to your office? Well, it's not built yet, but I can bring my portable table to your house. So I was making house calls well before I even opened up my practice.
So the practice opens, and you said to me...
I had instant patients.
And you really were doing well.
Very well.
So what happens later on? The procedure, the Furshpan.
Well, the Furshpan maneuver was a result of a lot of
doing the adjustment now. I understand.
Well, no. It doesn't look anything like that. But I had several patients who had chronic herniated discs and bulging discs. And I'm an efficiency expert, so I take complex procedures or processes and I simplify them to make it very simple. But the herniated disc is not a complicated thing. It's a very simple thing. It's really just like a flat tire. It's like taking a donut that has jelly in the center and you squash it and the jelly literally pops out on the side. And that's what happens. So you have to kind of undo it in a reverse fashion. So I developed this technique over time, remembering how my father used to use a mortar board. He would put the plaster or cement, and then he would use a trowel to scoop the material to the center, because he would move around with it and it would flatten out. So you take the trowel, scoop it around to the center, just like you do with fudge in a bowl.
Right.
You kind of scoop it and you bring it to the middle, right? And you gather it. So I used this gathering maneuver that I developed over time to correct a herniated disc by bringing the jelly back to the center, which fluffed up the disc and made it a little taller. And we would send the patients back for their MRIs, and the herniations completely disappeared.
Now, besides that, the hiccup story.
So the hiccup story, this was in my second year in practice, and my practice was flourishing. And one of my patients suggested to another mother of a girl who was hiccuping for 9 months straight, and they were going to operate on her. They were going to crush her phrenic nerve. That's the nerve that controls your diaphragm. Why would you want to crush a nerve that controls your diaphragm? So he told the mother, get him to Dr. Furshpan right away. And so I adjusted her, and her hiccups stopped. I saw her 2-3 times, and they completely disappeared. The next thing I know is my friend, who was a patient of mine, called up the New York Post. They come and you know, and question me about
Chiropractor has built an establishment. What happens next? How do you build this holistic medical center?
So I treated this girl, and all of a sudden my practice took off to another level because I was interviewed on television. And what happened was, I said, you know, I can do this. I can interview people, and I can have my own show. So I had my own cable show called To Your Health, and that gave me the idea of opening up a holistic center because I was interviewing professionals of many disciplines, of a variety of disciplines that I didn't even know existed. And it was all new and up and coming. And so I gathered all these people and opened up a holistic center of approximately 30 practitioners. And I was managing their practice.
So you're running the holistic center, and then you say to yourself, hey, insurance is having an effect on the way the world is.
Yeah.
And you decide that you want to change your career a little bit. How do you get into becoming a concert promoter?
Right, so when I opened up this holistic center, the bottom floor was a 20,000 square foot facility. Downstairs, I took about maybe 5,000 square feet and opened up a marketing agency because at that time I was lecturing around the country to doctors and businesses on how to market their business and how to provide excellent customer service to the nth degree to help build their business. And that's what I did in my practice. And I sold posters and marketing material.
And the books, you had...
And all of that.
Correspondence courses.
Correct.
Right.
So I had this marketing agency, and we were marketing for, local, regional, any company that needed help, we had a solution for them, including the likes of NASCAR, and we did some work for McDonald's.
Right, you did
and American
Sunoco
Airlines.
and the...
We did the Sunoco official fuel pitch for NASCAR and the Nextel Cup Series pitch. So we had a great group of very talented, I was surrounded by very talented people. And that's really what made all my businesses. I was surrounded by a lot of very talented people. And I got into the music business somehow. So one of my clients suggested that I manage a concert pianist.
A Russian concert?
A Russian concert pianist, which I've never done. They asked me, would you do it? I said, of course I'll do it. I'll do anything once.
And you go to Avery Fisher Hall?
Well, before I did that, I took her to Russia. And I recorded her with a Russian symphony orchestra in the Moscow radio station. The one that was promulgating, communism back in the day. But now it's a beautiful studio, a huge place, and a great orchestra. And we come back with a fantastic CD, and she asked me, what are you going to do next? I said, well, let's do a concert. Have you done one before? Never done one before, but I'm willing to try. So we did a concert at Avery Fisher Hall, but without her.
Right, because she got shy, or?
Well, there was some complications, and she chose not to be part of it.
So what happens? How do you
Well, I took the lemon, and I turned it, and you
made it into lemonade.
Into limoncello.
Okay.
Not even lemonade.
So what happens? You find this Russian kid, right?
So what happened was I said, I'm going to make a Russian concert to celebrate the Russian culture and what they've brought to American society. So it was ballet, it was opera, it was
But you didn't
concerts.
have the bear. Did you have the bear?
I did not have a bear. I looked for a bear. I couldn't find an available bear.
Oh, okay,
They were all busy at the time
But
at circuses.
but you found this interesting kid, right?
I found this interesting kid by contacting the Russian embassy. And I said, if you can send to me somebody from Beslan, Russia. They attacked Beslan, Russia 3 months prior in a high school. I'm not sure what kind of terrorist organization it was, but it was a small group that attacked a high school, and they murdered about 300 people, students, teachers. And so I reached out to the Russian embassy and offered this concert benefit to benefit this school, and if they can send me a representative. So President Putin at the time selected a kid who was a hero there, who rescued 6 other children. He sent them over to us, and at the time I was working for Curtis Lee. I said, Curtis, you have to make him a guardian angel. This kid is truly a guardian angel, rescuing 6 other children, running in while they were shooting machine guns, grenades blowing up, and he rescued 6 kids. So they brought him over, they made him an honorary guardian angel, and it was a sellout concert because we did a press conference before the concert, and everybody wanted to see this.
So since that was successful, then you did a rhythm and blues concert.
I did a blues concert, correct.
Okay,
and it was a historic event.
After that, then you do a concert because WCBS FM was getting rid of rock and roll.
Right, it was a gift from heaven because I already booked that show. And I was finding ways of getting a compelling story, a marketing pitch, to sell more tickets. And at that time, CBS announces that they're going out of business. So I contacted Cousin Brucey. I said, you have to host my show because we have to make a big deal because oldies is part of New York culture.
So are we at the climbing the mountain yet?
Oh, okay. So approximately 3 years later, when I turned 50, and just before I turned 50, actually when I was 49, I'm looking at something new on the internet called Google Earth. And I'm fascinated by looking at the Earth completely different on a 3D relief imagery. And I went right to Mount Everest, the highest point on Earth. And I was so fascinated. And I had this burning desire inside to climb it. But I looked into it and I said, whoa, this is too expensive, too dangerous.
And I never climbed before.
I never climbed before. This one I'm not going to make. But maybe I can find something more reasonable. So that's approximately 30,000 feet high. I said, I'll go 20,000 feet. And I found Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the height of the base camp of Mount Everest. That's the peak. That was reasonable, and I was able to manage that.
So you do that.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Next step.
Now you're coming close.
Comedy?
Comedy is almost right around the corner, literally. So I come down from the mountain with a microphone, right? And I start telling jokes. So I come down from the mountain, and I knew I had to make some changes. And one of the things was I wanted to follow things that I've dreamt on doing. Besides all the businesses and the things that I've done, there's certain personal things I wanted to pursue. And one of them was stand-up comedy. And I didn't know how much of it I was going to do, but I wanted to do it. And since I overcame my fear of public speaking,
right.
yes, this is the next level in fear of public speaking because it's completely different and very scary.
Did you write your own lines?
I wrote my own lines. And I must give credit to my son, Jonathan, who helped me tweak some lines. He's a very, very funny kid.
And is this time that you say, forget it with the insurance business, I'm getting out of chiropractic?
Well, again, what happens is when you will something, opportunities come at you at a very rapid rate. So as I'm willing these things to happen, somebody comes to me, approaches me and says, I'd like to rent your building. We have an aesthetics medical business, and we would love this. Would you ever consider selling or renting this building? And I said, bingo. I said, this is my opportunity now to take my practice and move it to a smaller facility, to downsize it because it was very expensive to collect from insurance companies. It wasn't worth it anymore. It wasn't as profitable having a large practice with a large staff collecting peanuts. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make any more fiscal sense. So I decided to move my practice and let them rent my building. And as I'm weaning down my practice and handing it over to another practitioner, I decided to get into stand-up comedy. That's where it comes in.
So stand-up comedy, and you said you weren't getting paid for this.
Yeah, okay, so here I am, over 50 years old. And after I take my classes and I do some comedy sets at well-known venues, Caroline's, Gotham, and I'm saying, okay, I'm bringing 20 people to do 5 minutes, where's my cut? I'm a businessman, I understand how these things work. I know you made $1,000 on me, maybe I can get $100 just to cover my costs. You gotta pay your dues. You have to pay your dues. I said, pay my dues? I paid my dues already. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own company and give myself stage time. So I started the New York Hysterical Society.
And you then went on the circuit of doing comedy shows with opening acts at synagogues.
At synagogues, anywhere I can get a fundraiser, corporate event. And I'm a good businessman, but I'm a great marketer. So I was able to pitch a really good show to them with a great headliners and me opening it. And they bought it. So I got so much stage time. I produced hundreds of shows around the country, mostly in the tri-state area, that I got so much stage time, I really was beginning to enjoy it. I did it for about 5 years.
And then what happens? You meet the Mazzilli brothers?
So the Mazzilli brothers, who own Gotham Comedy Club, also owned the Metropolitan Room at the time. And the Metropolitan Room was originally the Gotham Comedy Club. So it switched to Metropolitan Room 10 years into the Gotham business, and they moved about a block away to double their size. And they told me that I should buy into the Metropolitan Room.
And what is the Metropolitan Room?
Metropolitan Room is actually a cabaret space. And a cabaret is not a genre, it's just this type of a space. It's like a comedy, jazz club, but it's really theater. There's song, there's comedy, but it's really theatrical in that there's a time that the show starts and a time that the show ends. So it's not like a jazz club where you can walk in and walk out anytime you want. There's a show. So you got to be there before the show starts. You have 2 beverages, the show ends, and you leave. And it's a great time. It's always a great time.
And you've had many people. You have had Tony Bennett, Marilyn May, millions of people over the years at the Metropolitan Club.
We do about 1,000 shows a year. And a good percentage of them are celebrities who want to entertain their friends and fans.
And you also do motivational speaking over there.
I do motivational speaking, one of my missions, and that's to educate professionals. And that is professional entertainers need education. Just like doctors don't have business education, entertainers have no clue on how to promote themselves and how to be business people.
Let's talk about your love of your life, who you met online.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about Joanne.
She is the love of my life. She has always been the love of my life. I just didn't know it until I met her. And then it's, oh, you're the one.
Tell me about the kids.
I just want to say that Joanna and I are so much alike. The kids are so much alike. So it's like 6 people that are so much like each other. We have Jonathan, who's the oldest, and he works at the Metropolitan Room. He runs the video department. He's got 6 HD cameras that he does fabulously. Then we have Tamara, who's my daughter, and she's studying to become a guidance counselor. And then we have Brandon, and Joanne brought him to the table, and he's a wonderful kid.
What does he do?
Brilliant. He's an EMT. And Tyler, who's 20 and wants to become a physical therapist.
So it was fortuitous that you were at the medic program.
Yes.
And fortuitous that your father taught you how to work with the dowel.
Yes.
Okay. And as I said, the key to success in life, and it's not a business, but the success in life is having tenacity, adaptability, and perseverance. And there's no question that Bernie has that.
Thank
and
you.
I know that people should go to the Metropolitan Room, and I'm going to be there. And thanks for being my guest today.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.